The annual Grape Festival returns to Altus. Coming up, the history and legacy behind the festival's 43 years of tradition. And a local hardware chain taking a classic approach to pest control. Ahead, we'll introduce you to the new mouse managers. Welcome to the 5 News Bright Side. I'm Morgan Wrigley. The Altus Grape Fest returned this year, celebrating 43 years. The annual event highlights how the small fruit can have a big impact on surrounding communities. 5 News reporter Claire Everbach visited 2 of Altus's wineries to learn about the families that helped shape the tradition.
Long before the annual Grape Fest, families were putting down roots in Altus. At Post Winery, those roots date back more than a century.
We've been around for 5 generations since coming to America in 1872, landing in Altus in 1880.
Tina Post makes the drive from Fayetteville to the winery each day. She says sharing that family history with visitors is what makes it worth it.
It's getting to meet people from all over and then sharing just what we do in the industry and about wine.
Behind every bottle is a process that starts in the vineyard and continues all the way to the shipping box. That process includes a wide range of machinery, even items like the nitrogen drip.
That takes the air out, the last bit of air in the neck of the bottle out, so that wine will keep longer.
Just down the road, that same history continues at Whitaker Winery.
My great-grandfather came here from Switzerland. They came through New York, got on a train and came here to Altus.
Today, reminders of Dennis Whitaker's family history can be found throughout the space, including a hand-carved mahogany mural brought from Italy.
The side over here on the left is a celebration of the harvest. You can see them all kind of dancing around, but a little different celebration on the right side. That's a celebration of the winemaking.
While the Grape Festival celebrates the town's winemaking, Whitaker says it's the community that makes it all possible.
It takes a lot to pull off an event like that. Just 2 or 3 people can't do it. You have to have volunteers and people step in.
In Altus, covering news where you live. Claire Everbach, 5 News.
Well, for another Altus family, the Grape Fest is all about tradition. 5 News reporter Taylor Howard went to the festival and even competed in the Grape Stomp with Scott, Noah, and Claire, and she met the family who keeps the tradition alive.
Well, it's rewarding, you know. You do something for a whole year, and then you come out here and you sell your grapes, and people say, you know, that's your reward.
James Dahlem has been growing grapes in Altus for 30 years, and now he helps lead the festival as the chairman. If you ask him what keeps him doing it, he says his answers never changed.
The people. I mean, it's about the people.
That's why he says it means so much more than a festival for his family.
It's just a tradition, you know.
That started long before James, and something he says he enjoys having his children and grandchildren a part of, too.
Our ancestors started this grape growing region years ago. My grandfather raised grapes. I had an uncle that raised grapes. I had other kin folks that raised grapes up on this mountain.
His son, Tyler Dahlem, says watching his dad all these years carry on the festival has taught him what matters most.
Money's not everything. It's how you treat people. It's doing something you love. He loves doing this stuff. He loves giving back to the community.
Something he hopes he teaches his little girl.
Make sure we show our younger kids what we do.
The harvest may only last for a season, but the memories last a lifetime.
Everybody has to do some sort of job to get all of this to come together. Everybody's idea is welcomed, you know, and that's why I guess we've kept going for 43 years.
In Altus, covering news where you live, Taylor Howard, 5 News.
Well, FL Davis Ace Hardware has some new employees on the job, and they have 4 paws. The company has launched its new Mouse Manager program at stores across Northwest Arkansas. 5 News reporter Emily Moss shows us how the rescue cats are settling into their new roles.
Tools, paint, and now cats. At Ace Hardware, these rescue cats aren't just the newest faces around the store. They're the newest members of the team. The cats will live in the stores as mouser managers, greeting customers and helping keep the rodents away.
They are in training, so they are trainees right now because we want to give them the world. This is their home, but if they don't like this, then that's okay. And so we'll try again with some new cats. So these are trainees and hopefully they will become our mouser managers.
The rescue says these cats are cut out for the job.
So I think they're really going to enjoy meeting everybody new and probably sitting on the register or in the back aggravating somebody's computer.
And the store manager says they've been preparing for their arrival and hope customers will enjoy having a few new faces around the store.
Excited. A lot of them are excited. We will have pictures of the cats posted letting them know that we got two new employees here at the FL Davis Ace in Fayetteville, and we're going to have their pictures and their names and everything, so all the friendly neighbors will know their names as they come up and everything.
So whether they're greeting the customers or keeping an eye on the aisles, these mouser managers are now officially on the clock. Covering news where you live, Emily Moss, 5 News.
Well, a Fort Smith man who overcame addiction and found success is giving back to his hometown. Coming up, we'll hear about the new center to help fight drug addiction in the River Valley. On this edition of Red, White, and You, we're highlighting the work of Travis Yarbrough, who turned his own experience with addiction into work to help others. He just opened a new center in Fort Smith, aiming to help teens dealing with drug addiction. 5 News anchor Darren Bobb checked in with him to learn more.
And with that, the Travis Yarbrough Center for Teens officially opened out on Texas Road in South Fort Smith. Yarbrough is Fort Smith born and raised. He began to use drugs in his early teens, which eventually led him to spend time in federal prison. When he got out 21 years ago, he began to work for Stainless Innovations.
7 years ago, I bought the company. 3 years ago, I paid off the company. Since that time, I've acquired 9 more businesses.
Yarbrough says he made it a point to hire only specific employees when he bought the business.
Over 40% of my employees are all felons. I hire felons over anyone else. Addicts are the best people there are when they get clean. It's a fact.
He says his success in business allowed him to put up most of the funding for the center out of his own pocket.
This is what I live for. God has provided for me in order for me to do this.
Andy Hearn is co-founder of the center. He too is a recovering addict.
One of my last suicide attempts, I made a deal with God that if I survived this, not only would I be better, but I would help everybody I could.
He says the center is nothing like anything being offered in the River Valley.
What we have here is a place where our kids in Fort Smith can come. We're open from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. We keep the kids here. We do behavioral therapy. We do relapse prevention. We do evidence-based therapy with all of our teenagers for 6 hours a day. We feed them and we give them a safe place to be.
Hearn says he wished there was something like this when he was a teenager.
I showed all signs of drug addiction at a young age. I didn't use at a young age. I didn't use till later in life, but the signs were all there. And if somebody would have talked to me about this, things would have looked a lot different.
He says the goal of the center is simply changing the mindset of the teenage addict.
If you're told you're a CEO of a company, guess what you're going to act like? We treat them as though they are CEOs of their life and they can find their passion, and we can redirect all this energy and all this grasp that they have on digging into this one thing, and we identify it over here and we turn it and we show them a future through that.
And with all that Yarbrough has been through, he says he admits he's one of the lucky ones.
I'm just so thankful to be here, and I'm so thankful for this community, and I just want to give back. I've did a lot of wrong in my past, and now it's my turn to give back.
Well, Girls Inc. has announced the appointment of a new board member to serve on its national board of directors, and she's from Fort Smith. Greta Barr has been associated with Girls Inc. for more than a decade, first becoming involved with Girls Inc. of Fort Smith in 2014 as a basketball coach. She later served on the affiliate's board of directors, where she became president from 2018 to 2020. As a member of the national board, Barr hopes to guide girls through mentorship, resources, and experience.
I think I can bring a perspective from an Arkansas and really this region. It covers this whole region in several states. My position does, but I can bring that perspective to other areas of the country that have that representation from other areas and try to better help serve the girls in Arkansas and other states.
Barr recently received a Women of Vision award earlier this year. With back-to-school season underway, so is the hunt for school supplies. But some local parents and teachers won't have to look too hard thanks to local groups like United Way of Fort Smith, which are stepping up to help provide supplies. United Way of Fort Smith hosts an annual Fill the Bus school supply drive, with volunteers collecting donations outside all Walmarts in the River Valley. We spoke with organizers about why this yearly event is so important.
So essentially, when you come out to the Walmart locations, you'll see the big bus like what's behind me. You'll have volunteers that will give you a supply list, and if you want to donate, you simply buy those supplies, bring them out to the bus, and we will actually load and fill that bus.
School shopping can be difficult financially, but one local school district is working to eliminate that burden. 5 News reporter Jada Daniels spoke with Gentry Public Schools about their Ready Day One program.
For parents, a trip to the store for back-to-school supplies and clothes can add up to hundreds of dollars. But this year, Gentry Public Schools is taking some of that financial burden off by providing all students with supplies at no cost with their Ready Day One program.
School was never supposed to be expensive. School was always supposed to be an opportunity for students to learn and be successful. And somewhere along the way, we kind of got off track. Just all schools have gotten off track with requiring students to spend $100 or more on school supplies, and we really don't like that model, and we want to do something differently.
And this isn't the district's first run with the idea.
We piloted the program just with kindergarten through 2nd grade, and we really didn't know. Some people like the nostalgia of having the list. We didn't know if they would like that or not, but 100% of the people we surveyed really love the program. And
school leaders say the program does more than save parents money. It makes sure every child has the same quality supplies.
It's a game changer because we've had a lot of conversations about how it levels the playing field for all of our kiddos, because now we're not going to have some kids that have all the fancy items and then some kids that don't have anything at all.
And district-wide improvements don't just stop at free school supplies, but also making sure no kid goes hungry.
Now that we've prioritized these things, free lunches, free school supplies, all these different supports from the community, I think that plays into one of the main reasons why Gentry is one of the fewer districts currently that is still growing.
Elementary students will receive their school supply kit during open house, while middle and high school students will get theirs on the first day of school. In Gentry, covering news where you live, Jada Daniels, 5 News.
Well, thank you for joining us on the 5 News Bright Side. We'll see you next week.